The reason you face difficulties and things that may not seem fair is because God has an awesome future in store for you. Where God is taking you is going to take greater faith, greater strength, greater patience. Every challenge you face is a sign that God is getting you ready for something you've never seen. Don't get sour. Why is this happening? Have a new perspective. God is growing me up. He's getting me prepared for my promised land. But if God gave you right now all that He has lined up, it wouldn't be a blessing, it would be a burden. He loves you too much to give you what you can't handle. And there will be seasons where it's taken longer than you thought. You're still in the desert, dealing with that cranky neighbor, fighting that battle in your health, pressured raising that child. You could be sour. When is this going to change? No, that's a time to prove to God who you are. You're not weak, you're a warrior. You don't fall apart when trouble comes. You are strong in the Lord. You don't complain that you can't take it anymore. You can do all things through Christ. You don't live offended by people that did you wrong. You let God be your vindicator. That's how you don't just go through it, you grow through it. When you prove to God that you'll be faithful when it's not fair, you'll be good to people that are not good to you. You'll stay in peace when you should be upset because your spiritual muscles are growing, because you're getting stronger, developing your character. God can take you to new levels of your destiny. He can entrust you with more favor, more resources, more influence. And I know sometimes it's painful, but the pain has a purpose. When I lift weights, the last 2 or 3 reps are always painful. My mind says, stop, this is hurting. I'm uncomfortable, I don't like it, but I know that pressure, that pain is, number one, only temporary, and number two, is causing me to get stronger. I was uncomfortable for a short time, but the results lasted a long time. Now I have this massive, good-looking physique, but in my mind I do, but you may be uncomfortable for a season. And yes, it's hard to bite your tongue when somebody's rude. It's hard to keep a good attitude when the contract didn't go through. It's hard to stay in faith when things aren't changing. But if you'll dig down deep and pass the test, you're going to come into favor that will last a long time. Here's what I've learned. The pain of discipline is less than the pain of regret. It is painful to do the right thing when it's hard, but it's less painful to look back and think, what could I have become if I wouldn't let this temper get the best of me? What could I have become if I'd learned how to overcome this compromise and deal with this impatience, this jealousy, this pride, not being easily offended, not let that hold me back? The mistake the Israelites made out there in the desert is they didn't grow through it. They didn't pass the test. They thought the delay was a bad break, when in fact it was God protecting them. He knew they weren't ready. They would have been defeated. He was doing them a favor, but they thought He had forgotten about them. They were negative and complained, Moses, why'd you bring us out in the desert to die? There's nothing good to eat out here. God gave them manna every morning for breakfast, but they got tired of it. Because they didn't pass the test, because they never grew, never developed the faith, the trust, the character, they went around the same mountain for 40 years. Here God had brought them out of slavery, sent plagues on their oppressors, and parted the Red Sea, drowned Pharaoh's army. God didn't do all those amazing things to leave them in the desert. What was the problem? They didn't pass the test. They never got prepared for where God was taking them. They complained when it wasn't easy. They got discouraged because it was taking longer. They were frustrated because they weren't getting their way. When the truth is, all those difficulties, all those inconveniences, that wasn't the enemy, that was God giving them opportunities to grow. How you handle difficulties will determine whether you make it into your promised land. God has the good breaks. He has the right people, the resources, but before that happens, you have to prove to Him that you can handle it. And the way you're tested is in the fire of affliction. It's in disappointments, delays, when you're not getting your way. Recognize that's an opportunity to come up higher. I hope you enjoyed watching this clip. You can watch the full message here on our YouTube channel. We'd love to hear your prayer requests or how the ministry has impacted your life. You can leave a comment below. Make sure to subscribe to our channel to stay inspired all through the week. We'll see you next time.